The current drama series Baby Reindeer on Netflix.
Being portrayed as a stalker in the show Baby Reindeer.
Now it is the must-watch show. Everybody is talking about Baby Reindeer.
Our fans are trying to find the real people behind the story.
Because it does depict real-life events.
When did you know that you were the person being depicted? He says the whole thing started because he felt sorry for you. To people who are watching this and who still doubt you, what do you say to them?
I think you should watch this.
You didn't
I think
fancy
this
him?
is behind him. No, I don't fancy him. I don't fancy little boys without jobs.
Were you ever in love with him?
Yes. Is that a serious question?
Yeah.
No.
He has said that he led you on at times. And he clearly
I gave
was...
him the brush off. He asked me to sleep with him with a big green spot in his face one day. I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
He asked...
She appeared to be calm in the beginning and so on, but as the show went on, I see that she's not all there. So I do get the perspective of mental health advocates who have come out saying like she's been exploited. I do see that. But I also see Piers Morgan's perspective when he says like she's already been outed.
And for everyone squealing like The Guardian about it being exploiting, well, they gave a big platform to Richard Gadd and allowed him to repeat all this stuff about Fiona Harvey. Is that not exploiting her? I mean, where does the exploitation line go? Why is it that Richard Gadd is allowed to have his say with all his troubles and is allowed to effectively exploit her and have her out there without any control or approval by her, but she's not allowed to respond?
There's always two sides to the story.
Why have you decided to go public?
The internet sleuths tracked me down and hounded me and gave me death threats, so it wasn't really a choice. I was forced into this situation.
What do you want her to do? Like the internet literally tracked this person down, and her face, her pictures are all over TikTok. As the internet started to speculate on who committed that, heinous crime, they wrongfully linked someone who could have abused him. Richard Gadd posted on Instagram, "People I love, have worked with and admire were being targeted unfairly." He added, "Please don't speculate on who any of the real life people could be. That's not the point of the show."
Stop the cap.
I do find this statement this genuine, just because if you don't want people to speculate on who the people are, maybe don't use the direct quotes like "hang my curtains." Maybe you shouldn't have played the role as the real person it happened to, because then people can easily link you.
Sorry to interrupt, but when you watch it, it says, "This is a true story." Those 5 words. So Hollywood Reporter has an article with Richard Gadd talking. I think he's getting a bit of the collywobbles on this slightly, because he says, look, it's not completely true. It exists in a sort of, if we can see this, it exists in a sort of fictional realm, even though it is based on truth. It exists in a fictional realm. I think. So he's starting to
now
do
he's
the
backpedaling.
The 5 wheels
and that's
in reverse.
Not good, yeah.
Yeah.
That's suspicious.
In a Baby Reindeer, barman Richard Gadd offered an upset Fiona a free cup of tea. Fiona replies, "He didn't. I was in for a meal."
The show shows you coming in to a London pub. You've just named the pub. And he's working behind the bar, Richard Gadd, and he offers you a cup of tea. Is that what happened?
No, that's not correct. He didn't offer me a cup of tea. Nobody gets anything free from the Holy Arms.
Nobody gets a free drink at the Holy Arms. How do you know? Are you there like every second of the day? Even if she is, like, you don't know.
You know, all of that. You're obsessed with... sorry, I don't mean to be horrible.
I'm not obsessed with anything.
You've gone on at length for a good 10 minutes about the emails.
Well,
and also she gets caught up in things that she doesn't need to be caught up with.
But you do look and sound very similar to the actress in the drama.
I haven't seen the actress. We're both Scottish. We've both got dark hair. She's considerably younger than me. I think she's about 18 years younger than me.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 58. I'm a year younger than you.
That's not important right now.
And I think Martha, Jessica, the actress, is about 40, 38, 40.
Baby Reindeer's version, Martha sent 41,000 emails, 350 hours of messages, 744 tweets, 48 Facebook messages, 106 letters. Fiona's version is, I sent a couple of emails, some tweets, and one letter. Apparently she doesn't know his address. So if you don't know where he lives, how can you send him the handwritten letter? I wish Piers would have pressed her a little bit more on that. Or did she send it to a pub?
Now, again, there is obviously a resemblance between...
Do you think so?
Well, a bit, but
That's hardly flattering.
Well, I don't mean to flatter you or not flatter you.
The snide remarks she would make against the actress. Now, with NPD personality types, they can't divorce themselves from certain topics. If someone has a different opinion or anything like that, they will make snide comment at that person. They will attack. They can go from like so kind, so lovable to like so cold, so extreme, so dismissive. There's no gradual change of expression. It just goes from like happy, smiling, straight to like, it's scary.
Did you see how quick she stopped that laugh? Watch again.
Well, a bit, but
That's hardly flattering.
Well, I don't mean to flatter you or not flatter you. I just think there is a resemblance.
Cold.
Oh, there's definitely a resemblance. Usually a natural laugh tailors off a little bit. She cut it off so quick, that's a sign of fake laughing.
Online, people are saying that she's probably autistic. She's probably on some autism spectrum and PD personality types. There's just a lot of speculation about her mental health. The Piers Morgan show definitely showed that she's not, my girl is not there. She's lacking basic social skills.
Trainee role at the legal firm McPhail-Lawrence Partnership in 1997. Is that true?
It was called L&L Lawrence. I think she forgets the name of her own firm. It was called L&L Lawrence.
But that's all true. She gave you a trainee job.
She lured me away from another firm. She headhunted me from another firm because she needed someone to do employment law. And I'm pretty good at employment law, so...
She said that she had to sack you days later because you were completely incapable of behaving yourself.
I walked. Her staff were really, really rude to me. Most people, half the Labour Party had been up there at one point or another and walked.
She then said that following you leaving, obviously very quickly, that you then harassed her. You were then known as Fiona Muir, obviously, as you said, Muir Harvey. Mrs. Ray said she was so frightened she issued workers at her firm with personal alarms. You were then served an interim interdict to stop you from contacting the lawyer or her politician husband. Daily Record reported that.
She messed up, I know, and I've still to speak to David about that, the author of that Daily Record article.
Sorry, you went into court to get them yourself?
Yes, but there was
who?
no need against Laura Walker and Jimmy Ray.
But she said one was served on you.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
An interim
we have checked this out.
And again, there would be a public record of
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. And
You're saying that it was never served?
What we think, she served the initial documents and then
she did?
She served the initial documents and then there was no hearing. It wasn't minuted for a hearing. I said I would defend, but she mucked that up too. She didn't fill up a second initial document. She then didn't minute for decree in absence. So there is no interim interdict in Scotland.
Why would two people who have no contact with each other at all, Laura Ray and Richard Gadd, why would they both portray you as a very unpleasant harasser?
I don't know why Richard Gadd has, but Laura Walker, it was certainly because I was going for parliamentary selection.
So your past record speaks for you, you know? If you're a problematic person in general, you're going to burn bridges with people, you're going to cause trouble, you're just going to be that person that people don't want to deal with you. And when your story goes public, that will come out. And the other way around, right? If you are just this good person, generally good, right? Nobody is like just good person, right? We are not one-dimensional. That is one thing I really agree with Richard Gadd on.
I indulged it. I was in a bad place. I made stupid errors. I sort of felt like I needed someone to give me attention in a way because my confidence was rock bottom. And I wanted to get that in. I wanted to show the nuances of the human condition, really. I wanted to show that people are a mixture of good and bad. And I think stalker stories usually tend to be one person's good, one person's bad. And I wanted to kind of get away from that.
According to the National Post, Baby Reindeer, he made a Netflix show about his alleged stalker. Now he might get sued. The show that has got its creator in trouble and Netflix under scrutiny by the UK government. Lawyers who featured on Piers Morgan basically saying they're happy to take Fiona Harvey's case forward because they feel that Netflix failed in their duty of care and they tricked the audience. If you tell the audience this is a true story, like you've got my attention, oh my god, a stalker story, great. Like, it's also atypical because often we see male stalkers, but we don't see female stalkers. Girls can definitely become obsessive. You can literally have a friend that maybe you just don't vibe with anymore and you just cut her out of your life, and suddenly she's just always, you know, checking your TikTok. And with TikTok, it tells you like people who come and view your profile. Yeah, that can be quite intense because you're like, oh my god, is this person okay? They're checking on my profile every day.
And I was like, why are you so obsessed with me?
I will give this to Piers Morgan. He was very good in the sense that he just allowed her to speak, and Piers Morgan is well known for interrupting people. I think they dealt with her, you know, before. He does speak about behind the scenes how she was, you know, she definitely had her moments where she was quite aggressive, and now she's asking for 1 million. She's asking Piers Morgan for 1 million. Yeah, you have to be deranged to literally request something like this. Like, if you're clocked on, you know, you don't have any underlying mental health issues, and I do this because I'm just speculating at this point. I think we all are. You just would not ask for 1 million. You would be like, okay, so Piers Morgan is gonna pay me 250 to appear on this show. Technically, he needs her more than she needs him. Here comes the money. Why? There's going to be loads of media outlets contacting her, you know, because this is what they're after: clicks, views. It's understandable, that is their job, right? She could have literally probably got away with asking for like 1,000, even probably 2,000, and she would have been paid that. Maybe not by Piers Morgan, maybe by someone else. So the demand is there. So I do think in this sense she was exploited because she's clearly vulnerable. She strikes me as this lonely person, as someone who doesn't really have a good support network. She has been failed by the system, but she's also lacks self-accountability. She also didn't help herself, you know, by like getting help, mental help. Like, you do have agency over yourself. This story is only going to get more intense as it develops.
And it is obviously a true story of the horrific abuse that the writer and protagonist Richard Gadd suffered at the hands of a convicted stalker.
Baby Reindeer's version, Martha was sentenced to 9 months in jail. Fiona's version, I have no criminal convictions and have never been to prison. So I do think when people find out the truth, if the real Martha was actually sent to prison for 9 months, or she was convicted, or there was some sort of restraining order against her, that will definitely add credibility to the show. Did she attack Terry at the bar? Did she show up in his comedy show and harass him in front of everyone? Did Martha actually contact his parents? Can his parents confirm or deny this? Did she actually assault him at the canal? Was she sentenced to jail for 9 months? We just don't know yet. If that is completely made up, all these like intense, dramatic scenes are what made the show blow up. So if they're false, it's gonna make the viewer think, maybe this wasn't an intense stalking case. Maybe this was actually quite mundane and mild, and maybe Richard Gadd found an opportunity to kind of capitalize off this vulnerable woman. I mean, he can see he's more clocked on than her, clearly. He can see that she's unwell. He, you know, researched these articles against her, and then he was like, okay, this can be my ticket out of this impoverished life, you know, because I've got to give it to him, and I really respect the fact that he's a grinder. He, you know, was on benefits part-time, and he was also a barman and did some comedy shows here and there.
London seems like a riot these days. What's your name? So I've got 2 minutes left, please don't interrupt. So Amy Winehouse, better not.
Don't know why they're all laughing. You're absolutely shite.
Yeah, he's not funny like that. It's a bit cringe, but again, you can give it to the actor for being honest about this. That was an actual true portrayal in the series. Apparently, the Daily Mail received 50 phone calls from Fiona Harvey in a period of just 1 hour. And there are people like psychoanalyzing, like she's doing this a lot, and I can see that. Body language is a language in itself. That is why, guys, like, for example, when I used to be overweight a long time ago, I was uncomfortable with my belly. So like when I would sit down, like people do this, and they kind of like doing this a lot, or they're doing this, they just cover, you know. Whereas like when you're actually confident and, you know, all these things, that will show in your body language. The criminal record against her is allegedly under the name Fiona Harvey. So at this point it's just speculation. In the UK, it's not like America. Our criminal records are kept private. She's also changed her name, which is a bit sus. Now, I know people change their name, that's not like a big thing, but when you have like this track record of people have dealt with you and they come out, you know, making allegations against you, and it's not just one person, it's a few people. Supposedly, according to this channel over here, their thumbnail shows that Fiona Harvey's nephew is coming out saying that my auntie's a liar.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Martha is portrayed as this unstable, overbearing character towards Donnie. There are some scenes where she shares her childhood trauma.
I had this wee cuddly toy when I was young. Went with me everywhere. Earliest memory I have, I think, was Christmas time. This old photo of me sitting with this paper hat on my head and this baby reindeer beside me. Anyway, this reindeer was this cuddly, fluffy thing. Had big lips, huge eyes, and the cutest wee bum. I still have it to this day. It was the only good thing about my childhood. I'd hug it when they fought. And they fought a lot, you know?
It will always link back to your childhood. So Martha was exposed to that in her childhood. As you grow up, if you don't get help, if you don't get therapy, and you know, you have some introspection in you, you just grow up to be that problematic person, because that's what you were exposed to as a child. And especially if you fall into the vulnerable narcissistic personality types, also known as the failure to launch, you become bitter, you become hateful. What is actually fiction in this drama series and what is not? Then the audience can decide if this is truly as captivating as it was sold to us. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching and see you guys next time.
I've got to go.